Hi everyone, this is Teacher Jen from camgush.com, and today we will discuss a lesson from Essential Grammar in Use by Raymond Murphy. Today we will continue a lesson about the verbs was and were. Was and were. I hope you can still remember Robert and what is he doing and what he did last night. Now we will go on to the third part of our lesson. Now we will discuss how to answer was or were questions. So, if you can still see here, we discussed before in our previous video how to make questions with was and were, and also what pronouns you can use. Now let's go on. So, these are the short answers for was and were. We have positive and we have negative. Of course, if the answer is positive, then that means you will say yes. Now, let's read the following verbs with the proper pronoun. Yes, I was. Yes, he was. Yes, she was. Yes, it was. Also, with the verb were. So that means we have the plural pronouns. Yes, we were. Yes, you were. Yes, they were. Now, let's go on to the negative answers. So, when you say negative, that means the answer is no. Now, let's first read the singular verb and pronouns. No, I wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, she wasn't. No, it wasn't. Now, let's read the plural form. No, we weren't. No, you weren't. No, they weren't. Now, let's read the following sentences. First one, were you late? Were you late? So, of course, as you can see, this question is in the past tense. And also, we use the pronoun you, so that's why our verb is were. So, the answer is a negative one because the answer is no. So, no, I wasn't. Because the question is in the past tense, so the answer should be in the past tense too. Now, let's go on to the next sentence. Was Ted at work yesterday? Was Ted at work yesterday? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. So as you can see, our question is in the past tense because we use the verb was. And we also have the time expression yesterday. So of course, the answer should be in the past tense too. So that's why we have the answer, yes, he was. Now let's go on to the last sentence. Were Sue and Steve at the party? Were Sue and Steve at the party? No, they weren't. No, they weren't. So as you can see, we have plural subjects here. That's why we use the plural form of the verb were. And because of that, we knew that the tense is in the past. So that means our answer is also in the past. That's why we got the answer, no, they weren't. Okay, so I hope you understood what is the difference of was and were, singular, plural, and past and present. Now, it's time for us to answer some exercises about our lesson. Okay, so our first exercise is about these pictures and these people. So we have a question here. Where were these people at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon? Again, where were these people at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon? As you can see in our question, we have the verb were and we have the time expression yesterday afternoon, to be exact, at 3 o'clock. So we will have answers in the past tense too, regarding what these people did yesterday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Okay? Now, let's begin. We have an example. For number 1, we have Gary. As you can see, this is the time, 3 o'clock, yesterday afternoon, and this is what Gary was doing during that time. So the sentence should be, Gary was in bed. Gary was in bed because he was there. That's the place where he was during that time. Now let's go on to number 2. We will talk about Jack and Kate. So, where are they, or where were they during that time yesterday afternoon? Do you know? Very good, guys. So, the answer is Jack and Kate were in the movie theater because during that time they were really in the movie theater watching a movie. Now let's go on to number 3. Let's talk about Sue. Where were Sue at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon? So what's the answer, guys? The answer is Sue was at the subway station because yesterday, during that time, she was waiting there at the subway station. Now let's go on to number 4. Now we will talk about Mr. and Mrs. Hall. Where were they at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon? So, they were in a restaurant yesterday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Now, number 5. How about Ben? Where were he at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon? Or I should say, where was he at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon? So, the answer is, he was on the beach. He was on the beach. And as you can see, for all the sentences, we used the past tense of the verb were and was. Okay? So now, how about number 6? And you? What were you doing yesterday afternoon at 3 o'clock? Write your answer here. As for me, I was in the office yesterday afternoon at 3 o'clock. So, everyone, or students, did you understand our exercise? Please review what we did today and understand or study each of the following sentences. Now, I would like to also encourage you to enroll in Camglish.com's classes because we can definitely help you improve your English skills. Now, this is the end of our lesson. I hope you learned something. This is Teacher Jen from Camglish.com saying goodbye and see you on our next video. Goodbye!